for 1 points. HugeAboSerble6921 got the worm. HugeAboSerble6921 currently has 10 minutes. IlUriduk24 said, "Hi Snooter." The Snooter said, "Hey hey." It's late, but I wasn't gonna let another day get away from me completely. HugeAboSerble6921 said, "Got the early bird, guys." At HugeAboSerble6921 congrats. Hey hey. In addition to extra boops and ad-free viewing, I am also offering off-stream draw time to all my Twitch subscribers. In fact, as a subscriber, your weekly off-stream draw time will be guaranteed even if you miss a stream. Tier 1, 15 minutes total. Tier 2, 30 minutes total. Tier 3, 100 minutes total. Video Game Andrew said, "Hey, on my way home, see you on my PC."
Alright everyone, I think we're gonna go ahead and get started now. I seem to be having some minor health problems today, which are causing me some persistent pain, but I decided I was going to fight through it anyway. So here we go. So I'm going to hide the foreground and start coloring the background. Let's go ahead and get that timer going. I also need to hide the sketch layers.
HugeAboSerble6921 said, "At the Snooter, thanks. I appreciate this."
No problem.
Thank you for the 4 long months of subscribing, ZyberDragon34.
Welcome back, Zyber. As some of you may have noticed, I finished Zyber's request recently. Let's go ahead and pause the timer real quick, and then I can show the Zyber request. Alright, here is Zyber's art request, all finished. As you all know, been gone a while, but I still had paid subscribers that I was behind on, so I made a point of tracking down everyone on my subscriber list who had an active request with me, and trying to finish their request entirely.
HugeAboSerble6921 said, "Looks beautiful, Snooter."
Thank you so much, Bowserball. I hope it turned out alright at least. There's a couple things I wish I had done better on, but for the most part, I think it did what I wanted it to. Yes, this will be uploaded, I believe, in February. We're gonna go ahead and resume that timer now. But yeah, it was a long vacation. Like, let's see here. Where did I leave off? Yeah, for starters, I had to be out there longer than I was last time because the game night where I had to finally do my Digimon tabletop RPG was on a Wednesday. So I had to be out there for that. So that means I had to leave Tuesday. And then, okay, this cannot be at 0. Let's try 15. 0 saturation. No. So if these colors are too dark, they blend in with the lines, which doesn't look good. So I have to adjust the color slightly to make it so the lines still show up. So yeah, I had to be out there on Wednesday. But I should probably make sure YouTube is working. Oops. But then I had to be out there on Christmas Day for my partner, the darling precious Misamo-chan. Her family takes Christmas very seriously, so we had to be there on Christmas Day. And then there was weather, so we got stuck in the mountains. Then we frantically drove back during a break in the storm. And we barely made it, because, like, we stopped for food in, like, one city. And, like, we saw a sign going, like, the other way on the highway that said, in 4 miles, highway closed. And it was just like, that means that, like, we were a couple minutes away from the road closing. I mean, unless that road closure was only one direction, but still. We were very close. Apparently a storm popped up right behind us and caught a bunch of people unaware. But yeah, I made it back. For those of you who were interested, the Digimon game actually went really well. Yeah, like, I'm not sure how much I've told, but some people might. Oh, hi, Lady Goo. It's been a while. How have you been? But for those of you who haven't kept up on the Digimon saga, in case I already said a bunch of this, I was asked by my friends to run a Digimon tabletop RPG. Well, to run a tabletop RPG in general, but like, Digimon was what I had available and ready to go. So, that's what we went with. But these lines I don't think work. Might have to adjust them. But yeah, so we had some problems at first because my friend who asked me to do it didn't communicate to everyone. Hey, our friend Snooter is doing a Digimon RPG. Be ready for that. It was like the night before, and people still didn't know about it. Like, despite me repeatedly reminding them. And then we had some trouble with someone, let's call her Vicky. Vicky giving me guff about my homebrew system. Like, you know, I get that there are flaws in my homebrew system, but like, I was asked to come here as a favor, and like, I'm not some Wizards of the Coast. I'm not some Wizards of the Coast development team. I am one person. doing this casually. Like, yeah. So, while I was gone, I polished the heck out of my system to, you know, at least make everything right on my end. And cut out some of the flaws. And, yeah, so I did all that, and then I also made a bunch of maps, and I had to, like, actively call people up to get their character sheets finished, because it's like, we spent the entire Session 0 doing nothing but character sheets. I didn't have time to discuss any of the important things that need to be done on a Session 0, about the campaign, and, like, yeah. I'm like, we are not doing this again. Everyone needs to have their character sheets ready to go by the time we sit down. So I completely overhauled the character sheets. I found a way in LibreOffice to make a bunch of formulas with charts and whatnot so that all of the math would get done for everyone automatically. I'm not sure I like this color. I'm gonna switch this to a mid-gray, and I'm on the wrong layer anyway. But yeah, like, unlike in Dungeons and Dragons, where, like, you know, you spend some time working on your character, I'm sure any one of you could make a Dungeons and Dragons character sheet in like 5 minutes, but like, that's the thing. This was a homebrew system, so basically no one in history has ever played it before. No one has any experience making characters in it. And, like, it's not just one character, because this is Digimon, Digivolve. So then I'm gonna make sure my microphone is working. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, I think so. It might be a little quiet, so I'm gonna bring it closer to my face. So then Right, so no one's ever played this before. Digimon Digivolve, and there's like separate things to determine for each stage. And welcome in, Zero Wing fan. As you can see, tonight we are doing art requests. I'm trying to get myself back on the horse because I had a bunch of vacations and then getting sick, and I'm still having some problems today, but you know, didn't want to leave everyone hanging for so long, so made a point of coming back.
Zeroing Fin said, "Hello. Welcome to my art request stream. If you would like to start a free art request, type request for info."
So I'm gonna go ahead and add you to the list. Just like the information just said, you have 10 minutes.
Snooter said, "You can get additional draw time using redeems. Click the pink nose icon below chat to see available redeems. We call these points boops." Zeroing Fin said, "Okay, cool, thank you."
No problem. First timer, let me put you on the list. Can you give me the details for your request?
What are you rules for a request?
I thought I had those on my page, but let me double check. Snooter, about section. I need to make sure this is muted so it doesn't start repeating the data. I also want to make sure, yeah, the music is going. Good. All requests must be safe for work. This is an all ages stream. Rule number 3, I will only work on one request at a time per viewer. no starting new requests until the previous one is complete. No more than one character per request unless you are a subscriber. And I will not be drawing minors in any sketchy situations. And I will not be drawing any of the following: farting, drowning, age regression, human waste, or human waste products. Those are all the rules for the requests. I hope that makes sense. If you would like to read them again at any point, you can go to my About section on my channel page.
Video Game Andrew said, Vac. Thank you for the 10 long months of subscribing, Video Game Andrew.
Okay, Andrew, would you like to use a subscriber slot today? For those of you who don't know, subscribers get extra time and extra slots. By using a subscriber slot for 1 point, they can... Wait, do I not have subscriber slots up right now? I don't. Okay, give me a minute. Sorry about that, Andrew. Let me go ahead and get subscriber slots up. But yeah, for 1 point, subscribers can get a whole art request slot. There they are, sub slot on. Okay, the redeem should be working right now. I apologize for that. Go ahead and check the redeems now. They should...
Video Game Andrew just redeemed sub slot for 1 point.
There we go. Excellent. Good job, Andrew. Thank you for demonstrating that. Subscribers get their own special redeem that only costs 1 point and gives them 15 minutes of draw time. Cool, huh? So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the list.
Video Game Andrew currently has 15 minutes.
I'm going to go ahead and give Bowser Ball a couple more minutes because we got a little distracted. But that means that the ad is going to force itself before the end of this drawing. So I'm just going to play the ad now. And I'll see everyone in about 60 seconds. Let me know if you have any further questions, Zero Wing fan.
Snooter said, hey. Did you know you can get more off-stream draw time for the same price by subscribing on DeviantArt? Basic Boopers, $5 gets you 25 minutes of draw time per week. Double Doodles, $10 gets you 60 minutes of draw time per week. Super Snooters, $25 gets you 175 minutes of draw time per week.
Okay, let me see here. Where is the light coming from on this? And how would that affect things? Yeah, so a pinball machine would have to be lit from up front at least so that the players can see it. Therefore, I'm going to put the shadow in back. That seems good enough for that. Let's see what I should do on the rest of these. Okay, I think we are back from ad break. Yeah, I feel like Twitch has been giving us more ads recently. I meant to go into the settings and see if I could adjust that. Alright, Andrew.
Video Game Andrew said, I have new requests for you.
Well, let's keep in mind Rule 3. And to clarify... here is where your request is, Andrew. We have not started on the rendering. I think we're actually done with the pattern layer. All I have to do is fix Vortex's eye. Which, let's see what color that is. Kind of looks like it's not. It's not any color. That's very frustrating. I'm going to have to look up a different reference to figure out what color this is down here. But the pattern layer seems to be done. Next up, we're going to start doing the shading. I believe I've already done the shading in the background, so we just have to finish the shading in the foreground.
Zeroing Fin said, well, my request was going to be the character diaper dog from the series Captain Underpants, but in a swimsuit. If that's too no good, I can change it if you want.
Yeah, we don't really like having diapers. So what's your other idea?
Video Game Andrew said, my sister get my paws husk for Christmas.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm glad to hear that. You'll have to show us when you get them. For those of you who don't know, Andrew tends to do cosplay of a lot of different characters. And y'all should heckin' check it out sometime. Just a moment. Here's one example of Andrew, who recently got a piece of his Luna cosplay.
Zeroing Fin said, well, yes, that's part of the reason I said in a swimsuit. It changes up the context.
Yeah, I see. Just a moment.
I get in February.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I can't wait for that. We will see your costume then. Yeah, I'd still rather avoid diaper dog. So definitely let us know what else you have in mind. So I'm going to increase the saturation on this color and reduce the value. But yes, Andrew cosplays a lot of different characters and goes to a bunch of conventions. And we'd like to encourage that around here, so we show his cosplay photos on the stream sometimes. If any of the rest of y'all have cosplay photos, or perhaps some artwork we'd like to show and you'd like to show it on your turn, then we can totally do that.
Zeroing Fin said, well, darn, that's really the only character I had in mind.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But keep in mind, there's no rush. We're still going to be... Did I pause? Yeah, I paused the dang timer again. I don't know what the heck I paused it for. But whatevs, I've turned it back on now. But keep in mind, this stream is probably going to go for quite a while, so you have time to come up with other ideas. Oh yeah. After... So yeah, in the interim, I absolutely spent a bunch of time making new character sheet files that I made as like simple as possible, because like one of my players back at the session 0 had a really hard time just merely opening his character sheet on his phone. And like, all my friends were telling me, oh yeah, this is perfectly fine opening character sheets on their phone. No one's ever had trouble with it, and I'm like, this guy clearly has never opened a character sheet on his phone in his life. Like, he can't seem to do like the fundamental concepts of like just opening it, not to mention having to manage it in the middle of a game.
Video game Andrew said, send you photo.
Alright, that sounds good, Andrew. Okay, I just want to do
Hold
one more
on.
thing on this real quick. Want to add some light just real fast. Y'all know how I'm obsessed with highlight.
Feral Ligator 2425 said, how'd I?
Hey, Feraligator, how you been? I am not feeling great today, but I was like, fluff it, I don't want to keep people waiting. Like,
It's been a while since you streamed last. Hey.
Yeah, things were just getting way too out of control. Like, there's so many subscribers who didn't have their work done yet. Okay, I'm not done with this, but we're out of time, so let's save it and move on to the next person on the list. So Zero Wing Fan doesn't have their request right now. You got plenty of time to come up with a request, but if you don't want to, that's fine, no pressure. We enjoy you hanging out with us. So we are going to start on Video Game Andrew. I will continue with the update when we get back from ad, though, because I guess they're pushing another ad. Didn't I just have an ad like 5 minutes ago? What the heck?
Also, I'm doing all right myself. I have finally moved house, if that's of any importance.
Heck yeah. Duration, monetization, ads. Okay. How many minutes of video ads do you want to run per hour? 3 minutes. Ads automatically scheduled. Yeah, that makes sense. Net ad revenue share. Re-roll ads for incoming viewers is fully disabled. Ad length and frequency. Run a 1-minute ad break every 20 minutes. Yeah, that all sounds perfectly fine. Like, why is it giving me one every 5 minutes? That doesn't seem right. Okay, so we're going to try to run an ad again, and hopefully it won't bug us, because this is the third one, and we've only been live for half an hour.
Kamijot said, heya everyone. Desnooter said, hey hey. Did you know that you can get way more draw time by subscribing on KO-Fi? Basic Whippers, $5 gets you 30 minutes of draw time per week. Double Doodles, $10 gets you 70 minutes of draw time per week. Super Snooters, $25 gets you 200 minutes of draw time per week.
Okay, this is red. Interesting. It appears to be the same red that we use on the sclera.
Feral Ligator 2425 said, sounds like Twitch is having a hard time with money again, so it's trying to triple down on the ads. JK.
Like, that is, exactly what I suspected, but, like, I don't know. My settings are still there. There's not any, like, notification that's saying, hey, we forced it to ignore your settings or whatever. Like, I don't know. My settings are still set to 1 minute ad every 20 minutes. So, I don't know.
Video Game Andrew said, my wife and me into cool like Luna and Vortex.
Heck yeah, that'd be cool. But, yeah, welcome in, Kamajot. Sorry you popped in right as we were, having to run an ad. So I think the recent Twitch collapse is because they started going, well, it was, it was because they were starting to go hard on bots, and it turns out a lot of their viewer base was bots, and like, everyone's viewers just kept dropping, and that's the thing. These streamers were getting paid according to those viewers, and it turns out most of those viewers were bots. So like, in some ways it's like, okay, that's great. So now we know like, now the viewers that are left are the viewers that we know are real. So that's cool. The problem is we still lose the income. Like, they're not compensating us at all. They're just like, nope.
Fujiboserble6921 said, "Where's the special bonuses? 30 minutes have passed and nothing so far. Strange."
Special bonuses? I'm gonna need you to clarify what you mean by that. I did put on the sub slots, so if you want to try to refresh the stream, the subscriber slot bonus should be up. I don't think I have the timer bonuses right now because I haven't found a way to integrate those back in. But yeah.
Fujiboserble6921 said, "The special bonus boops."
Special bonus boops.
2425 said, "It's like super easy to get bots, so I only hope Twitch won't pull a toy house and become some kinda invite only, so it'd be hard to drop a billion bot accounts."
Yeah, for real. This nose is a completely different color, actually. Okay. I can probably work with that. I also have to question, like, if the lighting is affecting the base colors on these. Let's see what happens. You know, that's very similar to this hair color I've got, so I'm just going to make it the same color as the hair, and that makes a lot of sense. I try to use, like, a limited color palette on characters, because if there's, like, too many colors, it can get a bit clustered. I mean, I do know it's fine if you have colors that are, like, adjacent or similar. It wouldn't be too much of a problem, but even then, I'm gonna have adjacent or similar colors when I move on to the shading and the highlight.
Video Game Andrew said, "Did you get on your Discord?"
I can check that in a bit, and it is your turn anyway, so let me check that out.
Okay.
Now's a great time. Video Game Andrew, Etsy, okay. I'm not completely sure I'm able to
pause
grab
on there.
this. Yeah, just a sec. I might have to use my snipping tool actually to grab these. Still, this looks like a very cool, let's see here, Musk cosplay, Etsy. This looks like a very cool cosplay set. Let's see if I can get to my pictures and find it.
Fujiboserble6921 said, "I guess the special bonuses for boops are unavailable currently."
I'm not sure what you mean by the special bonuses for boops. Are you talking about the subscriber, like, bonus boops that you get as a subscriber?
Video game Andrew just redeemed BOOP to Snoot.
Yeah,
For 5 points.
we also have the Boop the Snoot redeem, and we have the animated Boop the Snoot redeem.
No, not really.
Yeah, I'm a little confused what you're talking about. So it sounds like she bought you these paws. That was very nice of her. These look extremely high quality and well made. I definitely love purchasing from
Video game Andrew
crafters
said,
and not companies,
yes.
you know what I mean? For sure. These are gonna look great, and I look forward to seeing the cosplay photos of them. Alright, let's get back to the pattern layer. Did I put this on the wrong layer? Yes, I did. Okay, how do I fix this? Okay, so I'm gonna lock the alpha. And then do this. I'm gonna add a couple more minutes to Andrew's time, since this was a mistake of mine. There we go. So then we turn the pattern layers back on. It looks like I put this on my normal pattern layer, which is exactly where I want it to be. Yes, what do you mean by special boops? Special bonuses for boops. Yeah, because we have the subscriber slots available. We have the slots specifically for subscribers available right now. That would be the sub slot redeem, which costs 1 point. It only costs 1 point because I wasn't able to make it 0 points. Same with the early bird. That's supposed to be 0 points, but, you know, they won't let me make a redeem for 0 points, so I just went with the next number.
Hugiboserble6921 said, every 15 minutes, for non-subscribers there should be a present icon appearing that gives you free 50 boops. For today there doesn't seem to be any so far.
I know exactly what you mean now. That is very strange. You should definitely try refreshing the page if you can. If you're using this on mobile, I would definitely try refreshing the app. If you have an ad blocker, it might try to mess with you. Because I know that websites like periodically update their ad blocker detection. And that might be something that Twitch has been doing. I mean, like I said earlier, they're cracking down on bots. They're probably cracking down on ad blockers as well. So those are some possible troubleshooting tips to keep in mind. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a little green button that pops up with a treasure chest on it. And you should be getting those every 15 minutes. That is correct. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. If anyone else can hear me right now, please let me know. If you can see the green chest button, it should show up underneath the chat every 15 minutes. And if you're not getting the button, please let me know if you have an ad blocker or not. Okay, I think we're actually done with the patterns, and it's time to start shading. Let's go lock, lock, lock. Scooch this reference out of the way. Should I start from the left or the right? I think I'm going to start from the left. Light source is going to be front and center. So basically where this light is, I'm imagining there's one up here that is in front of the subjects. So since the light source is kind of like this blue, we're going to go with that for the shadow color. Although I feel like the overall vibe of the light in this room is yellow. So we're going to go for this kind of tealish cyan, dark cyan for the shadow color, since that's a cool color. And then we're going to use a yellow bright color. Oh, that is way too opaque. A yellow bright color for the highlight.
Hugibo Serble 6921 said, "Okay, I disabled it and it works now."
Oh, so it was the ad blockers. That's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. I know ads on Twitch are a pain in the patootie. Yeah, a lot of websites have been updating their stuff and making it so our ad blockers don't work. I know been having trouble with YouTube Music recently because the ad blocking browser I have on my phone is no longer compatible with YouTube Music, so that's very frustrating. It's just like they're willing to take all our money and then use our money to take more money and make their products like that much more unusable to extort us into spending more money. Like, I wouldn't even mind spending some money on YouTube or whatever if they didn't make their product just so deeply unpleasant, along with like all of the other super patootie things that YouTube has done to creators over the years. And like, you can't do anything about it if you're a small creator. You just can't do anything about them just taking your entire livelihood. And there's no recourse, there's no accountability. There's nothing you can do about it, you know? It's just, this is the only platform, and there's nowhere else for creators to go. And that's interesting that it reads this as a different color. I don't know why it's reading this as a different color, but I'm just going to do this the lazy way and add it to the selection mask. So frustrating. There might be anti-ad blocker detectors that will work here, but I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I guess I could just push that, you know, there's Twitch Prime and Twitch Turbo, but, you know, if you don't want to spend money on Twitch, I completely understand. Like, not only do a lot of us not have money to spare right now, Twitch has done a lot of things that I would completely understand if you didn't want any of your money going to them. Like, speaking of which, as I was saying earlier, like, not only did they crack down on bots, which completely tanked our income, like, that's one thing. It's like, you know, okay, so you're removing bots so we have less fake viewers. That's awesome. So are you gonna pay us more to make up for the fact that you, like, pay us more for viewer to make up for our lost income? No, not at all. Just completely make us eat the cost instead of you, who were supposed to be keeping this platform like bot free to begin with. It's ridiculous. And we're just supposed to eat the cost of it, you know? It's our fault somehow for like their platform having a bunch of bots on it, and they just, yeah. I think y'all get the idea. So, that is another reason people don't like Twitch right now. that's completely not fair. And then there was that incident at like TwitchCon. What was that, a couple months ago now? And it's just like, yeah, they just keep making really dumb decisions. It's like making them very unpopular. But I mean, again, it's just like YouTube. Where the heck are we gonna go? They have a monopoly, and for some reason our trust-busting laws just aren't doing anything against any of these companies that are clearly way too big and basically control our entire culture. Like, everyone gets their, like, news from YouTube nowadays, so they basically control the mindset of the entire country. They control the entire mindset. They control the mindset of the entire country, and they have no democratic accountability whatsoever. Like, you cannot vote YouTube out. You cannot be like, hey, we're not okay with you doing this, or we're not okay with you... I need to see what color this was. We're not okay with you doing that. Therefore, you know, we're going to democratically decide how this company is run. Like, we have no way of doing that. And yet, you know, it's like, you know, you could argue, okay, it's a private company, but it's like, no, it's a private company that controls the mindset of, like, the entire United States. It doesn't even have, like, journalistic limitations that, like, normal news media companies have. So it's just so unethical, and you can see, I can absolutely see why people refuse to give them money sometimes. But yeah, I mean, as far as Twitch goes, it's like, where are we gonna go? Kick? Like, seriously? It's a complete monopoly. There are no competitors. I suppose you could argue YouTube is, like, competing with Twitch, sort of, but, like, they clearly offer different products. Like, I'm multi-streaming to YouTube right now, at least in theory. But it just occurred to me, I haven't heard any text-to-speech today. That's not true, I did. Yeah, I did hear text-to-speech. Never mind, it's working. I'm just gonna check YouTube real quick and make sure it's working. Oh yeah, YouTube is working perfectly well. And Zonstone Gazer has been on it. Yeah, collecting more points. For those of you who don't know, I usually multi-stream to YouTube. Therefore, if you want to double your points, you could watch this both on Twitch and on YouTube. Although, with how Twitch has been being, like, they might punish you for, like, having Twitch in another monitor. Last I heard, Twitch is having it so you can only have, like, 2 Twitch streams open at a time before it doesn't count you as a viewer anymore. But I don't know if that applies to watching, like, YouTube on a different monitor. I also don't know if y'all have different monitors. Okay, let me check the list. We are... That's actually everyone on the list. So, for some reason, we are less than an hour in, and we don't have anyone else to draw for. Do people just not have enough points? Or, well, I suppose a lot of people just aren't here today. Let me see here. What should I be doing? If that's the case... Well, Andrew's been a subscriber for a while, so I'm tempted to keep working on his. Let me check my other subscribers. See if there's someone else I should be working on. Because I know I'm behind on it.
I like your Digimon drawing.
Thank you. Much appreciated. For those of you who haven't seen it, we got Labramon right here. While I was on vacation, I set up my easel. So while I was on vacation, you know, it's rude to pull out a tablet and hide in a bedroom and be antisocial and all of that. So instead of hiding in a bedroom and drawing on my tablet on my computer, I set up an entire gigantic easel in the middle of the living room and drew using my charcoal pencils there, which, you know, clearly much more polite. This is Labramon. I picked him because he's a cute little doggo, and I love the doggos. And there was some good contrast.
Don Stony Gazer said, at Hugebo Serval 6921 I had to disable my DNS ad block in order to start getting points again. It had destroyed my streaks everywhere.
Dang, that's terrible. Yeah, I definitely want to mess around with my DNS settings at some point.
YW. I play Digimon Storytime Stranger. It good.
Heck yeah. So no spoilers on Time Stranger, y'all, but my partner bought it for me. But I never finished Cyber Sleuth, so I'm trying to finish Cyber Sleuth and I'm getting real sick of it, because it's like... why is like most of the gameplay just like reading text boxes? It drives me nuts. Like, this... how is this... like, and it really worries me because it's like my partner spent a lot of money on Time Stranger, and it's like, did I maybe have her get me the wrong game? Because like, I'm really not enjoying having to read like 50 text boxes in between being allowed to use the Digimon I've been training. Here's Cyber Dragon, Jack the Legend. Okay, so we have a bunch of subscribers who don't actually have active requests right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and download a current list of my subscribers, and we can just go down the list together right now. Analytics, earnings, and while I'm at it, I'm gonna grab my other drawings and dump them in here. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking if sketches are fast and easy to do, then maybe I should start trying to do like a sketch Saturday kind of thing. But I tend to go overboard on how much effort I put into my sketches. You know, I say sketches as if it's not a full rendering in charcoal. Subscribers! Download my subscriber list for the 10 millionth time. Let's open it. Okay, current subscribers are ZyberDragon34, Video Game Andrew, John Nova 85, Godzilla King Kong, Jack the Legend Shoutman, Plush Draco, and the Gold Recluse. So, just a moment. Sort. Column. I need it to be streak followed by tenure. Both need to be descending. That's better. So, let's see here. Plush Draco's probably not here. The Gold Recluse. The Gold Recluse. If you are in here and you would like to start another request, please let me know. Jack the Legend Shoutmon. If you are in here and you would like to start another request, please let me know. John Nova 85. If you are in here and you would like to start a new request, please let me know. Godzilla fan King Kong transformation. If you are in here and you would like to start another request, let me know. ZyberDragon34. If you are in here and you would like to start a new request, let me know. Let's go back to the stream manager. So yeah, the next one I drew was Gazimon, because I didn't like all this white space here because I didn't get to do much rendering on it. So I'm like, no, I'm going to pick something that's gray so that I can do rendering constantly on it, on like every surface. And this one was a lot more fun. This one is a character from this manga I've been reading lately called Dogby Walks Alone. It's a very silly manga. It's a detective noir parody. The author makes these really great duck face expressions. I feel like I didn't really do it justice here, but yeah, I wanted to try to draw one of those. And those are the sketches I've been working on lately. I can forget this, I can forget this, I can forget this, I can forget this. I also finished this request recently. So for every finished request I do, I tend to make a sketch version for Work in Progress Wednesdays, and this is that. It also has like words and yeah, those are not working for some reason. Not like I care. I have no idea what that is. But here's the... There we go. Finished version, fully colored. Let's go. Finished version, fully colored. That's about all I've gotten done recently. I wish it was more. Is this 101X one of my subscribers on any of these lists? No. That's a shame. Okay, well, we gotta fill up at least another hour, I would say, so I guess I'll just keep working on... Oh, you know who got a subscription recently was Misamo-chan. I'm actually behind on this one, so let's work on this right now. We have to run an ad real quick. And yeah, I'm so sick of Cyber Sleuth. I think I just don't like the visual novel genre, and like all the level design is usually super boring. I hear it's better in Time Stranger and you can actually go to the digital world. Like, oh, I got to like, I don't know, chapter 10 or whatever. Maybe it was chapter 9 in Cyber Sleuth, and like I fought this awesome boss and then like got captured by something evil which dragged me into the digital world, and I'm like, oh, finally I can stop wandering around these like super boring just modern buildings, like, and I can actually go to the digital world, because it's like, who the heck plays a Digimon game to like interact with the normal modern world? Like, the whole point of Digimon is also the setting. Like, you have these amazing settings with like, you have these natural features combined with, let's see here, probably 60 and value 50, I'm guessing. You have these amazing natural features combined with like digital networking features, you know, that you see in Digimon World 3, and then in Digimon Adventure, you have like, you know, you'll be wandering around this really cool, strange, alien-looking jungle. And then you'll come to a beach with like payphones. A beach with payphones, and like you'll be going through the forest and you'll find just a refrigerator full of eggs. And like, it's such an amazing setting with so much room for creativity and so much great work from all the background artists through Adventure 2. And then, you know, we come to this game and it's just normal world, modern Japan. Like, what?
Feral Ligator 2425 said, actually that reminds me, I got Pokemon Legends ZA for Christmas, so there's gonna be a heavy fixation for a good while. Hell, I even picked Totodile because of all of the starters, it is actually unique.
That is true. A bit weird that it's in Kanto when there's no alligators in Kanto, but like when they did Pokemon 2, aka the Johto ones, Gold and Silver, I don't think they realized they were gonna do like this tradition that they do nowadays where they go like all over the world.
Because it full-on replaces its weakness.
Wait, it replaces its weakness? What do you mean? What type combination is for alligator?
When it megas, I mean.
Oh, and it megas. Okay, okay. I have no idea what the mega for alligator is. I don't keep track of those things.
Feraligatr 2425 said, Mega Feraligatr is water/dragon.
Oh, I have to run an ad in 20 seconds or Twitch is going to be mad at me. So we're going to do that. I'll see everyone in 60 seconds.
So it only gets dragon and fairy as its weakness. Today's music was provided by Vivek Abhishek. For high quality, royalty-free music, check out youtube.com/@vivekabhishek.
Okay. I think that's about right. Oh, she's such a kitten. She's a kitten, the murder mitten. I need to scooch this reference out of the way and start working on this. I think we are back from ad break. But yeah. So like, wait, is dragon resistant to electric and grass then? Like, what? Because if it's water dragon, like, wouldn't it still be electric to, wouldn't it still be weak to electric and grass?
Feraligatr 2425 said, yes, dragon is resistant to the 4 starter types.
I had no idea. Dang. Four starter types. Wait a second. I guess if we're counting Pokemon Yellow, it's the 4 starter types, but you know.
So it cancels out the grass and electric damage.
Dang. So it's neutral to those. So since it's a water type, it's neutral to those. Interesting. Yeah, dragon is definitely supposed to be one of those boss types that's inherently better than others, but you know. Then you have to play competitive and actually like make other builds other than just dragons forever fair, so I feel like Psychic and Dragon were definitely like those boss types early on. Because, like, that's the thing. Psychic is supposed to be bad against Ghosts, but there's only one, like, damage dealing. Okay, so here's how it works. There's only 3 Ghost-type moves in original Red and Blue in the entire game. One is Lick, one is Nightshade, one is Dream Eater. So, like, Nightshade does damage equal to your level, and it ignores the opponent's defense, and it ignores types. So even if it was good against something, it wouldn't actually deal different damage because it is a consistent, exact amount of damage equal to your level. That's why it sucks so much. But then the Dream Eater is also a problem because you have to get your opponent to sleep first, or you can't even hit with it. So Lick is also a problem because Lick is just, it's a low power move. Like, you know, it's not supposed to be good. It's a ghost type move you learn early on that doesn't do much damage and has a chance of paralysis. So that's not very good either. So your options to use against psychic types are like, there are no good options. There are no good options. To make matters worse, there was a bug. In the original Red and Blue, there was a bug, and Ghost didn't actually deal more damage to psychics than anything else. And it's like, wow. So, like, the one thing we could use to counter psychic, the one good use that ghost types even had, the only reason to run a ghost type, and, like, it didn't even get that right. Like, even if you managed to pull off a Dream Eater, it wasn't super effective. And of course they didn't notice because, like, there's only one ghost Pokemon in the entire game, and don't say 3. Like, a single evolution line doesn't count as, like, 3 Pokemon. That is one evolution line. You get a Ghastly, it's gonna be a Haunter eventually. And if you have a Haunter, there's no point in not making it a Gengar. Like, that is one ghost Pokemon. You can't make half a team of ghost Pokemon, like, half a team of unique ghost Pokemon, because they're just gonna evolve, or you're wasting your time with, like, under-evolved Pokemon, so.
Feral Ligator 2425 said, it's supposed to be some kinda busted, but TBH it's never been overwhelmingly OP, as Dragon is only effective to Dragon, but on the other hand Dragons have the utility of a normal type where they get a good mishmash of types in their movesets.
Yeah, Dragon's incredibly good. I hear Tyranitar was insanely powerful back in the day.
Super Johnny 91 said, hey there at Das Neuter, how's everything going with you?
Oh, you know. Like, I didn't finish the story of what was going on with my vacation, but I've been dealing with some stuff recently since I got back that have to do with things that happened on my vacation, sort of. I haven't been feeling great today, which is why I was so late to start, because I was hoping this pain would go away, and, like, it subsided a little because I took a Tylenol, but it's still there. It still hurts. And I'm just toughing through it. I'm being a brave snooter right now. Give me my brave girl points. I'm working even though tummy hurt. But, yeah.
At Das Neuter, okay.
So how you been, Super Johnny 91? Do tell. And were you looking to start a new request today? Not sure if you have enough points for a slot, but I thought I would ask. Since we have, like, no one else on the list, and I'm just doing Misamo-chans right now for fun. But, yeah, as y'all can tell, I definitely like ghost Pokemon, and I wish that the Digimon story games were, like, I don't know, more gameplay, less less reading, and actually took place in the digital world. Like, I feel like the digital
Super
world
Johnny
itself
91 said,
is a huge
"At Das
part.
Nooter, how's everything going with me? By the way, how was your Christmas? What did you get for Christmas? And what did you do for New Year's also?"
New Year's. I completely forgot that New Year's was a thing until I started hearing explosions. Boy, were there a lot of explosions. But, yeah, Christmas. Let's see here. What did I get? Trying to remember. I know my aunt got me pencils, I want to say. My partner's relatives got me some, like, Burt's Bees products. I know we all sat around the Christmas tree and all opened Christmas presents. Like, I should know this. They also got me a bunch of gift cards because, you know, they never know what to get us because, you know, relatives are...
Stony Gazer said, "Just 400 shy of a super slot."
Oh, dang, that's awesome. We'll actually get to draw tonight. Maybe. We'll see. But, yeah, because they never know what to get us, you know, because relatives are just glorified strangers. And friends are like the family you choose. No, like, I know my mother got me stuff. I'm pretty sure she got me, like, more sweatshirts or more socks or something. I'm blanking right now. But, she's talking about getting me a car, so we can call that a Christmas present, right? For sure. Well, a new car anyway. New to me. Right. So I went back to, you know, Christmas vacation. We did a at-home Christmas and opened presents in our little house up in the mountains for a little bit, and there's no one on the list, so I'm just gonna keep going for a while. We opened up presents there. We stayed there for a little while. I did my... Oh, right. So I did my Digimon game, like, pretty much the first day I was there. I brought Dirtle with me, who, you know, is very young, and he wanted to see everyone and hang out.
Feral Ligator 2425 said, "At Zon Stony Gazer, if it was possible I'd so circumvent that."
But, yeah, so after all this preparation, like, I'm sure y'all remember my saga of how bad Session 0 went. We finally get there. We finally get everyone's character sheets working. Like, that one guy who was having trouble. And we have a super slot from Mischief Horn. Excellent. Let me go ahead and save
Mischief
this
Horn
and
just
move on
redeemed
to
super
Mischief
slot.
Horn.
For 6,000 points. Mischief Horn currently has 30 minutes. Mischief Horn just redeemed Hail Hydrate. For 5 points.
Excellent. So have you drawn anything cool recently, Mischief Horn?
Mischief Horn just redeemed BOOP to Snoot. For 5 points. Mischief Horn said, "Glad see you stream again."
I know. Like, the vacations really threw a wrench in my plans.
Let me see.
Like, don't you just love how there's 2 vacations in a row? And, how there's 2 vacations in a row that we have to, like, drive all over the country for, and, like, it's the worst time of year to be driving because of all the bad weather. And we just collectively decided, oh yeah, we all have to start driving at once at the worst possible time to be driving, and you're a bad person if you don't. You're a bah humbug Scrooge who doesn't love their family if you don't want to drive during the worst possible time of year to be driving.
Nothing I haven't shown.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Have things been keeping you from drawing lately? I know I've been busy because I've been on vacation. And then I got sick when I got back from vacation, so I didn't really have much time in between Thanksgiving and Christmas before I had to go right back out there again, because I had to go out there a week early to do my Digimon game. Yeah, so we got there for session 1. I got everyone's character sheets working. That one guy who was having trouble opening his sheet on his phone, it turns out that he had never roleplayed with them before, and therefore he was the only person who had trouble running a character sheet off their phones. No one else had any trouble whatsoever. So I just ran his character sheet myself off of my computer. And to make things better, I made maps. I'm sure I showed you all the maps that I did, and all like those custom sprites I made for Digimon. And ran the entire game off of like a Krita file. Like just like this. I just had layers that had like sprites on them and would just scooch the sprites around. And Dirtle was there, and he had his character, and Vicky was there, you know, the one who caused problems last time. But like once we got playing, it was actually incredibly fun, and all of it was incredibly worth it. And like everyone was having such a great time, and I'm like, you know, this was worth every second of stress to make this work and have a good time with everyone today. And even Vicky had like this really cool character that I really liked and enjoyed having in the game. I did make a couple mistakes, like I was supposed to have like the initial tutorial guy be like, hey, please don't kill humans, they don't reincarnate like we do, because you know how Digimon in an adventure, they just go right back to File Island. And Primary Village, but yeah. People don't do that. Please don't kill them. And like, I forgot to mention that, and one of my players immediately tried to kill someone. Like, tried to coup de grace a fallen opponent using a sword. Like, what?
Combination of backstory
It's so
stuff
brutal.
and art block.
Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. No, like, I've been just devastated because I got so passionate about making sprites and levels for this Digimon game, and then, like, as soon as everything fell apart, and I'm gonna explain that in a bit, like, it feels like I've lost my hobby. I've lost my passion, and it feels like I've lost my friends. You know, that's what I like to do, is make things that make my friends happy and keep them safe and well fed, and yeah, tell them stories.
Mischief Horn said, I'm guessing the enemies aren't kids.
No, the enemies are not kids. They do have children there. Like, they have their tamers, which are, you know, children of various ages, but like, no, like, a twist I had is, answering the age-old question of why the heck does a giant fire-breathing T-Rex need a 10-year-old? Like, I just don't understand that. The first time I watched Pokemon, I was so confused. I'm like, I'm sorry, why does the Scyther listen to people? And it's like, oh, you catch them, and then you get to use them to fight other Pokemon, and you use... So you have Pokemon, and you use those Pokemon to fight other Pokemon. And then, once you've fought those Pokemon and beaten those Pokemon, you can catch those Pokemon. And then once you catch those Pokemon, you can use the Pokemon you caught to fight other Pokemon. And I'm like, that sounds terrible. That sounds evil. Also, why are they listening to you after you beat them up and throw a Pokeball at them? That's so confusing to me. And Digimon, I feel like, has an answer, because it's like the trainers, the tamers in Digimon, they fight with you. Like, Tai is not afraid to throw down.
Korea said, 3.
Like, they are equal partners. Why did someone say 3? Welcome in, Korea. Oh, it's kitty face. That makes sense. So Twitch is going to yell at me if I don't run an ad again. So I'll see everyone in 1 minute, and then I'll keep talking about what I did.
Mischief Horn said, Colin 3. Feral Ligator 2425 said, I thought the lore with Pokemon is you only throw hands, and as a sign of respect they'll listen to you because you proven yourself as cool enough to train them.
And we are back. And yeah, that is, like, valid, I guess, but, like, that's supposedly the case for every Pokemon in the entire world. Which is just like, what? You're telling me there's not a single Pokemon who doesn't, just doesn't want to participate in this whole, I'm going to fight my brethren because someone beat me in a fight? Like, I don't know. Like, I shouldn't hate on it too much. I still like Pokemon. I just think Digimon's better because the kids they're fighting to the death to save the digital world. They are partners, equal partners to their Digimon. And, like, they are out there risking their lives alongside their partners to protect this world that they didn't even know existed.
That's probably the anime logic, but I'm sure it makes less sense in game.
Yeah. And, like, to make matters worse, the first episode of Pokemon I ever saw when my, like, uncle and aunt, who have no idea what they were talking about, were trying to explain it to me, was that one episode where, like, you have that town that hates trainers, and all the trainers were, like, really bad people who were, like, having a gang war and destroying the town. It was the one with Scyther and Electabuzz. Scyther is legit, by the way. That is such a cool design. Like, dinosaur grasshopper with scythes on its hands. That is... Or dinosaur mantis. That is so cool. So cool. But, yeah, what was I saying? Right, so, in my roleplay, I just cut out the middleman, and I was like, okay, you're the Digimon in this. Like, you aren't some tamer, you aren't a trainer, you aren't a 10-year-old shouting commands at people.
I'd think legendary Pokemon would be a lot more resistant to being friends with a lowly human. Super Johnny 91 said, at Das Neuter I do have a new request in mind regarding Samurai Jack. I'll text it and discard if you don't mind.
I presume you meant to say Discord. Yes, that sounds good. I will take a look at it there. Yeah, like, that's another weird thing, is, like... deities of time and space are just like following the commands of a 10-year-old. Like, it's like, what? Like, it makes sense that Agumon follows Tai's commands. Like, Agumon was, spoilers, specifically made specifically for Tai, using data collected from Tai. Like, of the original group, they all were. That's how they were made. And it's like, oh no, this hand goes up here, doesn't it? I don't know, the hand can go underneath, I guess. Can it? Should I put the hand on top of the hair or underneath the hair? I didn't think this through.
Feral Ligator 2425 said, actually nothing Pokemon related, but I find it funnier how you get yokai on your side in Yokai Watch. You basically beat them to a pulp, probably throw a snack at one too, and there's a off chance they'll reappear to be your friend.
Yeah, that's how it is in Dragon Warrior, Dragon Warrior Monsters as well. You throw snacks at them, and it's like, what? Beat the poof out of them, throw snacks at them, and like, they show up. I am not surprised, just disappointed that Yokai Watch does the exact same thing as Dragon Warrior Monsters. Which I'm pretty sure came out first. Like, I'm pretty sure Dragon Warrior Monsters was a thing. Or at least Dragon Warrior was a thing before Pokemon, and like a bunch of the Pokemon designs were clearly... a bunch of the Pokemon and Digimon designs were based off of like Dragon Warrior. Although I also hear a bunch of the Digimon designs were based off of Kaiju. Because originally they were planning to have a crossover between Godzilla and the Digimon Tamagotchi, but it fell through. But they just used the designs anyway because, you know, it's just a tiny pixel thing. You can't prove that this is Ghidorah, Rodan, and Godzilla. And now, like, we have some Digimon that are literally just those. And then when the person who actually like illustrated them like fully for the first time for like the show and card game and stuff, apparently his inspiration was Spawn by McFarlane, and like, I see it now. That explains why everything has so many belts for no reason and spikes and is super edgy and punk. And Ogremon is just like a glorified Violator, but like green. And I love it. I am so here for that.
We're in Discord. At @dasnooter.
So if you want, you can send me a DM, but in my server, there is a request reference section. Let me see here.
Like, brother, I beat you so hard you double died, and you want to still be my friend?
Request references here. Put it in there. Both the description and if you have any references. I beat you so hard you double died.
26-year-old anime.
Yeah, I know, right? You want to still, I beat you so hard you double died and you still want to be my friend. Yeah, it's like, I get it. Some Pokemon, like Lucario or whatever, like, they're super into fighting. They spend their lives doing martial arts. It makes sense that if someone defeated them in, like, a fair match, that they'd want to join that person. But that's like, also the trainer's not fighting. Like, how are you respecting the trainer when the trainer's just telling someone else to fight for you? Like, I'm sorry, you haven't thrown a single punch in your life. And I'm supposed to treat you like, if anything, you'd think they would respect the Pokemon who defeated them, not the 10-year-old shouting commands. Like, I'm so confused. And it's like, why do all the kids imagine themselves as 10-year-old kids commanding these Pokemon to do stuff? Why don't they imagine themselves as the Pokemon? The Pokemon are the cool ones. And this is my 10-hour rant leading to, why Frontier, Digimon Frontier, despite being one of the most hated Digimon series of all times, was actually a great idea. I still haven't seen it yet, but I really want to. I'm working my way through Tamers right now.
Sorry 27. Feraligator 2425 said, what company made that other game? Feraligator 2425 said, Shrek's evil cousin loudly crying face.
I know, right? Shrek's evil cousin. This is my swamp. But, yeah.
Super Johnny 91 said, at Das Neuter oh okay. The TDS is so far behind.
Yeah.
I was talking about Yokai Watch last time.
No, I caught that, for sure. I was just disappointed that Yokai Watch used the exact same mechanic as Dragon Warrior.
Super Johnny 91 said, at Das Neuter, do you think there will be a sequel to Samurai Jack Season 5 with more of a happy ending? Would you like to see a happy ending for Samurai Jack so that way Ashi comes back to life by the three gods? Do you think Jendi would make a Samurai Jack movie on theaters with a happy ending like you seen in a Disney princess ending movie style? Ashi could be a more like a Disney princess but a non-Disney princess?
I'm not sure. I know for sure if Disney did purchase Samurai Jack, they would likely keep milking it. But I don't know if that would be a good thing. Like, the original creator really had a good vision there. And when Disney tends to get a hold of properties, it tends to ruin them. And take a lot of the bite out. Kind of like Boondocks, and when they got rid of Aaron Magruder. I was super disappointed when I found out why they got rid of Aaron Magruder, though, because, like, apparently the dude just couldn't write episodes fast enough, and I'm like, dude, your entire job is to just write your comic. You don't even have to draw it anymore, and you couldn't handle that? Seriously? It's just like, you know, when I was growing up, I would look at the newspaper and all the comics and all the famous, you know, comic authors like Bill Watterson. Just be like, I could do that. That seems achievable in my lifetime. I could be a comic artist and write comics for the paper. I'm gonna aim for that. And that's gonna be my life goal. And now, like, I've grown up and there's so much competition now. It's like Aaron Magruder had a, like, newspaper comic that was kind of just a little bit political and kind of just had, like, somewhat anime slash, like, I don't know, it's tough to describe, but, you know, he had that style, which was pretty cool, yeah. Had some anime inspirations, but, like, had some unique stylization to it.
Feraligator 2425 said,
somehow,
I mean, whatever Dragon Warrior is about is probably not the most unique game idea in the universe, plus ain't art in general based on inspiration? Since even super early Pokemon has some amount of similarities to Dragon Quest beasties.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to talk that much shit about Aaron Magruder because, like, let's face it, Boondocks, the show, was actually a masterpiece. It was amazing. The episodes we did get from him were absolutely incredible. But it's like, you were a newspaper comic artist. Your entire job was to follow deadlines, and you couldn't do that. Like me, a, like, extremely disabled, unhealthy person with executive dysfunction is better at following deadlines than you were. You didn't even have to draw it. Like Riley was saying, like, not even the whole car, just the rims. You just had to come up with, like, episode concepts. even, and you could have kept your job. And you didn't. You could have hired ghostwriters and then, like, just been the creative director, and you couldn't handle that. Like, really? That bugs the heck out of me.
At least I think so. Super Johnny 91 said, at Das Neuter I didn't say anything about Disney buying Samurai Jack.
Okay,
All I
okay.
said is Ashy could be a non-Disney princess like you seen Anastasia and Thumbelina like a Don Bluth movie.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I feel like Don Bluth only took a shot at Disney's princesses once. Thumbelina. Okay, twice. You took a shot at Disney's princess monopoly twice. But Thumbelina, that is such a ridiculous movie. I really, like, every time I hear about that movie, the most memorable part of that movie was when, like, that mouse character was, like, trying to convince, like, Thumbelina to marry, like, this rich mole who finds her attractive. Like, gotta love how all these weird creatures find, like, a human female attractive. Like, we're not even sure that she's, like, an adult human female, and all of these weird, creepy critters find her attractive. So, like, let's try not to unpack that. Let's try not to unpack the implications. But, you know, he's trying to convince her to marry the mole. That's what the song is called, Marry the Mole. And it's like, there's this line. She's just like, Romeo and Juliet loved each other like dearest. They honored each and every vow. Where are they now? Dead, dead, very, very dead. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. The rest of that movie is like so childish and like I can't do it now. But god dang, did that mouse go hard. Like, that entire musical number went way harder than it needed to. Like, you're aware you're in Thumbelina, right? You do not need to try this hard. And I hate that. I hate the bird. Just like, follow your heart. Because it's like, that is terrible advice to children. Like, you can't just... You don't just see, like, oh, hey, attractive fairy prince. Oh, hey, attractive person who's probably a fairy, I presume. I'm going to spend my entire life chasing this person down because we were meant together and it was meant to be, and you should follow your heart no matter what. Like, that is a terrible idea. You need actual compatibility. You shouldn't get married, like, the same day you meet someone. Ugh. And I know tons of Disney movies are, like, really bad about this, but I just feel like Thumbelina was one of the worst offenders. No, you know, the movies who handled that really well were, Swan Lake, or I'm not sure if it was Swan Lake or, like, the Swan Princess or whatever. I don't actually know if that was a Disney movie or not. Was that Disney or Bluth? They handled it really well. Also, Frozen.
Feral Ligator 2425 said, that mentality is what almost got Anna off in Frozen.
Yes, exactly. Yes, you know exactly where I was going with that. You read my mind. Yeah, like, I feel like so many of the women I've met have had to escape, like, I mean, that's probably just because I'm a disabled person and I meet people who also have mental illnesses, so there's bias here. But, like, there's way too many women who've had to escape abusive relationships with, like, controlling men. And I can't help but feel like we're practically grooming these poor girls to be vulnerable to this kind of thing, because we're just over and over telling them, follow your heart. But, like, what does that mean? It basically means commit to, like, the first person you fall in love with. And it's like, that's a terrible idea. You need to actually take some time and establish compatibility. You need to take some time and make sure this person respects you as a person. You need to not follow this person, like, to the ends of the earth because she's attractive and fairy-shaped. Like, what? I just think of, like, what messages that's sending to boys as well. It's like, oh no, you need to not give up, even if Anastasia's yelling at you at the beginning. Like, I'll be the first person to defend the enemies to lovers trope. It's a fun trope. I like it. But, like, Anastasia, Thumbelina, like, everyone's, like, the message we're sending to boys is you need to, like, follow the first attractive girl you come across and, like, fight to the death for her, or you're failing your story. You know what I mean? Like, in any sensible world, the prince from Thumbelina would be a stalker. And I like how they absolutely brought it up in The Swan Princess. They're just like, well, what is it you like about her? And he's just like, well, she's beautiful, yeah, but what else? And he's like, isn't that all there is? And it's like, you know, now that you bring it up, that is kind of all there is in every other Disney relationship. I met this lady who is sleeping in the forest. We danced and sang once. Now I'm in love and I'm willing to die fighting a dragon for her. What?
Snooter said, I might be going back over the mountains again at the end of the month. But if I do, it's only going to be a short visit.
Yeah. So, I don't actually know if my Digimon game is going to have a follow-up session. I keep getting sidetracked on that. And then, Pocahontas. I saw, like, a hot lady standing by a waterfall. She sang a song at me. I'm in love now. I'm going to betray my entire mission, because it didn't occur to me that, people are people. And a hot lady who sang song at me, made me think people are people. Go figure. Oh, I was on an ad that whole time. Oh, it doesn't matter. I was just continuing to complain. Anyway, so, yeah, session 1 was awesome. We had a great time. Vicky's character was absolutely amazing. Shadow's character was feral and hilarious and fun. And I just ran his character sheet off my computer and let him do nothing but focus on the role-playing. The problem was, Shadow... let's just say he had a meeting of sorts. And it's like, dude, you knew this session was coming. A meeting with a friend. So it's not even like for his job or anything. So you knew this session was coming like months ago. And you planned this today while we're having the session. You couldn't have got this done earlier today. Like, so that costed us time. He was also like almost 15 minutes late. So we were 15 minutes late just even starting. And it's like, dude, it's not like you had to drive here. You literally live here. What the heck, dude? Make sure I'm on the right layer. Yes, I'm on the right layer. Then... who's next? Video Game Andrew got a sub slot. I'm not sure. Also, Video Game Andrew has a tier 2. That means I'm basically just gonna finish his request next time, because I'm sure I owe him more time anyway. Huge Bowser ball. Got the early bird. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, in that case, I'm just gonna go back to working on subscriber requests, and Misamo-chan was a recent subscriber. I feel like Astrid was a subscriber at some point, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Right, and Super Johnny was talking about a new request. Let me check Discord and see if I've gotten the details for that request yet. Not here, and not here. No. Alright, so I am definitely fine with drawing, these two characters living happily ever after in a, princess style. If you have any references, I would appreciate them, and if that's the request you want me to do, let me know. So yeah, the other problem was that another friend showed up. We got one from Huge Bowser Ball. Let's go ahead and work on that then. Works for me.
Hugibo Serble 6921 just redeemed super slot. For 6,000 points.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go.
Hugibo Serble 6921 currently has 40 minutes.
I'm gonna up the opacity on this shadow layer. It's a bit low.
Hugibo Serble 6921 said, got the 40-minute slot.
Wait, it says 40 minutes? Really? Super slot. It's 30 minutes. It's a 30-minute slot. Technically, you had more time earlier, so yeah, it does come out to 40 minutes total. You're right. That you ended up getting 40 minutes total today. But, yeah, let's keep working on this. I definitely need to do more shadow over here. Yeah, so this friend showed up 2 hours later. And like, despite the fact that I bought pizza at the beginning of the session, so I'm like, okay, this will just make it easier for people to get fed. I don't want people like slowing down the session because they're hungry, just having food around. Like, it won't solve all the problems, but like, it'll make it easier. So those who can't get their own food, this is an option that's available, you know what I mean? It will help. So like, 2 hours later, the pizza's all gone. And like, this other friend shows up who's not even going to be part of the session. She's just there to like, I guess, hang out with everyone afterwards and play some Beyblade or whatever. And she thought there would be pizza left. And spent the next half an hour like angrily crashing out about not being able to eat. And for some reason she couldn't get like DoorDash to work. I'm like, seriously? And she was right next to my head, like, loudly and angrily doing this. And like, I kept trying to start the session again and get back on track. And like, right as soon as I started to like build up momentum again, she'd like suddenly shout next to me and I'd get distracted. And like, I kept trying to do that because I'm like, okay. Then finally I just stop and I'm like, are you done? are you kidding me? You didn't have to show up here before our session was done. You didn't have to show up here with no food. And if you're gonna be here during the session, like, I don't know, don't lose your potatoes. Don't show up with no food. Message in advance and ask if there's pizza left. And don't make it everyone else's problem if there isn't. So that was a huge interruption, but other than that, it was great. We had a lot of fun.
Mischief Horn said, B, but they were not part of the game. Why they think?
I know, right? It's just, what the heck? Like, they just wanted to, I guess, hang out with everyone afterwards, because, like, I don't know, their usual hangout or whatever, but, like, you know this is going on. Come prepared. Don't show up, have a crash out until other people rescue you. So yeah, the vacation keeps going. We have a nice little home Christmas present opening ceremony thing in the mountains, which is cool, and we watched Spaceballs, which was fun. My partner really liked Spaceballs and was quoting like a bunch of it. It's a good movie. Very silly. But, like, then... let's see here. Then we had an actual, bigger Christmas dinner with, like, a bunch of people that were, like, my mother's friends.
Said, hey, Snoot.
Hey, Snoot. Hey, Astrid. How you been? How you been? But yeah, then we had that Christmas party. And, like, played a couple board games.
Sorry,
people didn't stick around.
I sleep so good, smiling face with open mouth and cold sweat.
No worries, no worries. I slept in heckin' today as well, and I wasn't feeling very well, but I really didn't want to cancel the stream twice, especially since I've been having to take so many vacations lately. You know, holidays. Like I keep saying, you know, we've all agreed as a society that the worst possible time of year to be driving, with the worst possible weather, and it's most dangerous, we all have to all drive at once to visit our families, or we're considered bad people. This was definitely
anyway,
thought through.
Dis you watch Tadk EP7.
Is that The Amazing Digital Circus, episode 7? Yes, I did. Holy fluff, that was incredible. Like, it just brings up more questions. Like, I really hope we actually get, like, answers and they're not just gonna string us along forever, because, like, you know, people are super analyzing and stuff, but it's like, we really don't know anything. We really don't. That didn't tell us a dang thing. Which is very frustrating.
Mischief Horn said, Goosework has confirmed it's 9 episodes.
9 episodes for the whole show, or just this season? Is there gonna be a season 2? Like, does that mean everything's gonna be resolved in, like, 2 episodes from now? Or does that mean we're gonna have, like, some finale that promises things and then nothing actually happens? Like that, there was this show I was watching recently called From that did that. Like, so many things were happening all at once, like, at the season finale, and then, like, I go into season 2, and they spend 4 episodes basically just dismantling everything that happened.
Astrid thirdly said, and do you like I draw a gift art to you?
That
As
would be
far as I
fine,
know,
Astrid. If you would like to, you can. You don't have to if you don't want to. The entire show is ending. Okay. Do you by any chance have a link to that interview? I would very much like to see it. I don't know, they spent so much effort on this show, like, you'd think they'd, you know, spend more time on it.
Mischief Horn said, let me see if I can find her Tumblr post about it.
Tumblr, yeah, that's a thing I technically have. I don't really post on Tumblr, but I technically have one. So, I mean, might as well be my Twitter. Twitter's just so, you know, comically evil nowadays that, of course, I don't use it. But at the same time, I don't delete my Twitter account because a bunch of people have Twitter, and, like, every time I try to, like, even look at their account, it just keeps bugging me to sign up. So, like, I have to keep my account existing just so that I can view other people's Twitters. But I don't have to post there, so I'm not going to do that.
Astrid
It's
Thirdly
just going to
said,
be another dead...
Do you guys saw a scene when Jack's almost like abstract?
Yeah, like, I'm curious if that's, like, actually what abstracting looks like to the people experiencing it. Yeah, he's pretty close. Like, honestly, so I know everything's just speculation and opinion because we really don't know anything. Like, honestly, I suspect that Jax tried to escape with only his friends before, and, they hit the button, the other button, the button that lets them out, and, bad things happen. And the reason he hit the, I want to say the blue button or whatever, this time, or the red button, whatever button he hit, it's because he needed to see what the other button did. Because he'd already been there before. That's my little pet theory right now. I've been wrong with literally every prediction I've ever made in Digital Circus, so, you know, take it with a grain of salt.
Astrid Thirdly said, and who is Scratch, when Kinger says.
Yeah. I don't know. Weren't they saying that Scratch was the first, the first one to abstract? I forget. I might have to rewatch it again. I don't want to, like, overanalyze it 10 million times, because, like, it's not nearly as fun of an episode as the one where everyone gets guns. There we go. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna add one more shadow layer and give these just a little bit of shadow. Because, like... Wait, do I have the right tool right now? No, I do not. Drag this down to, like, I don't know, 20?
Mischief Horn said, sent the post on general.
Thank you. Let me take a look at that. Let me pause the timer. Remind me to resume the timer. Okay. Tumblr, Gooseworks. Let's take a look. Is there any chance that Digital Circus Season 2 or is it a limited series? I don't really think there could be a Season 2. What? No way.
Mischief Horn said, Gooseworks walks in, makes show to break the internet, leaves.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get traumatized to pieces when the final episode comes out. I'm pretty sure that's Gooseworks' plan. That's kind of terrifying. Like, this is so weird. They clearly invested so much time and energy in this, like... So whatever happens at the end of the show is going to be conclusive. I get the feeling we're gonna get a bunch of unanswered questions and a bunch of trauma. Like, there's all these products for it. Like, they spent so much energy on this, and that's so weird that they're just letting this intellectual property die afterwards. But I mean, at the same time, like, gosh, remember Steven Universe and how they dragged that shootout forever? Like, Steven Universe was both, like, too long and drawn out and too little. Like, you know, it was like...
Mischief Horn said, I mean, I don't think it'll die.
Like, the thing with Steven Universe is you had, like, 10 million filler episodes, and then it's like, okay, it's finally time for, like, the super important, like, dangerous, serious...
It'll
plot
be like
stuff.
Gravity Falls.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. I mean, Gravity Falls sure survived a while, but, like, the fandom's kind of... Like, you know, you can't survive in a vacuum. You need to keep creating new content, or the fandom will dry up eventually.
Thank you for coming to my weekly art request stream.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's gonna run an ad whether I like it or not. I think it did run an ad whether I liked it or not.
PFFFF Dangerous, Maybell in New York.
Alright, and we are back, everyone. So what I was trying to say in Steven Universe is they had like 10 million filler episodes. So like a bunch of waiting for like anything serious to happen that would, you know, stop wasting our dang time. And then like you'd finally have like some big bad making the shoot hit the fan. Some super serious thing they've been alluding to for like the entire show or like the entire season, and that would be like 2 episodes at most. And I'm like, are you serious? Yeah, we sure needed like more Cat Fingers episodes. Those sure were more important than like kind of just brushing off that giant ball of gem shards like in the middle of the planet that could kill everyone. Oh man, we sent Steven down there. He talked to them for like 2 seconds. And then they didn't form. Okay, well, I guess that wasn't a real problem then. Guess we were worried for nothing then. Thanks. So glad that, you know, effort was put into this. Clearly. So yeah, I suppose Digital Circus will be better in that sense, that we won't get a bunch of filler episodes and then... But the question is, will they spend their time well when we do get to the serious episodes? And so far, I'm not sure they have. Like, yeah, we had some good character development in episode 6. And they're kind of trying to make it seem like we had good plot development in episode 7, but we really didn't. So we'll have to see how it goes. What are y'all's theories about episode 7? I know there's a lot flying around. Everyone seems to have an idea about what's going on. By the way,
Mischief Horn said, have you played Soma?
yeah, I agree with what you were saying, Mischief Horn. I just have certain words blocked on this stream because I don't want people getting into arguments about them, but yeah, I definitely agree with what you were saying. Let's see here. Have I played Soma? I have not played Soma. What is Soma?
Then I'll stay quiet so I don't spoil.
Okay, fair enough. I should probably watch Murder Drones at some point as well. Especially since it sounds like it's actually done. Okay, we're gonna move on to the foreground. I've actually finished the background, so let's do this.
Underwater horror game.
Really? Underwater horror game. That sounds like my jam, actually. That's a ton. I might have to check that out. Okay, but at the same time, like... I say I like horror games, but unfortunately most horror games are really just glorified spooky-themed puzzle games, and I hate puzzle games. It's like, give me actual gameplay, please. So...
Well...
Miss Emojin said, hi, darling dear.
Oh, hello, dearling darlest. I love you so much. How are you feeling today, Moshkin?
Ariel Korn said, fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight, never running from a real fight. She is the one named Sailor Moon.
She would never turn her back on a friend. She is always
where you are
there
underwater,
to defend.
and only leave to the underwater section few times.
She is the one on who we can depend. She is the one named Sailor Moon. Welcome in, Ariel Corns.
Miss Emojin said, I loves you too. I am okay, a little blah, but I'm here.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, my darling, my sweetie.
Says it.
Ariel Corns said, Dearling dearest.
Dearling darlest. Uh-huh. Darling dearest and dearling darlest is true. The Mushkin is here to meow at us, as is required.
Dearling darlest.
Exactly, dearling darlest. Not sure how I feel about using pure black for this.
Meow. The Snooter just redeemed Meow. For 10 points. Be sure to check out my darling precious kitty princess Misamachan at twitch.tv/MisaMochan.
KCCXD.
Sweetie. It's true. So yeah, after that, after the session ended, which, you know, overall was fun despite all the interruptions, we, went back to the place we were staying in the mountains, and we ended up... Right, we had to go to Misamo-chan's family's for Christmas. We had a decent time there, played some skip ball. And on my way out, I called Platinum Rad about what was going on. Right. We also went to a Yule party with our friends, you know, the family you choose. You know, the loved ones who actually know us. But, so... This needs to be a little pink. I'm gonna put it here, actually. So, yeah, we went to that. That was pretty fun, but, they had a ton of leftovers afterwards, and, we're like, we'll take those. We're always low on food. So we took, like, a ton of the leftovers from them. But the thing is, we had to grab a pot. And, like, no. Absolutely not. We had to take a pot of leftovers with us. So, that meant that we had to return the pot before we left back over the mountains. So after the Christmas party with Misamo-chan's family, I was calling Platinum Rad to try to figure out how we were going to return this pot while we were still down in town. And like...
Astrid Thirdly said, Hey Misamachan.
Aha, sweetie darling, more watch streaks. That's awesome, and I loves you forever. So, yeah, I called Platinum Rad about that, and apparently the person we borrowed the pan from, who is the same person who had, like, that serious crash out in the middle of my session, they had another crash out and, like, yelled at everyone. For some stuff. And like, they were taking some time away from everyone to be alone for a bit and heal and decide what they were doing with their lives or whatever, but yeah, so that was nuts. We decided to drop off the pan later when...
said, Hello, Astrid.
Misamo-chan went out to meet up with Jenny's side, and
Astrid thirdly said, I draw for you and Snoot from art gift at Christmas.
that sounds awesome. I would love to see that. And if you would like, I can add it to the fan art section. This does not look like the right color whatsoever. That's a little better. But yeah, we visited her, and she was doing pretty well. Her and Misamo-chan.
Misamo-chan said, thanks.
Much appreciated. We would love to see it. So, like, Jenny's side and, Misamo-chan were talking about the shenanigans they used to get up to in Dungeons and Dragons. And talking about all their broken characters that they built, like, to spite certain people. Like, those were the reasons, like, was to spite certain people and to find ways to break the game. And, like, they spent an hour bragging about the ways that they made characters that spited certain people and broke the game and were unbeatable and invincible through, like, various exploits or whatever. And then after having ranted about this for like an hour, they're just like, oh, you know, it'd be so cool as if we had a DM to play Dungeons and Dragons again. And they look at me and I'm just like, y'all are joking, right? Y'all just went on an hour rant about why I should not be doing that. Maybe you should have, I don't know, considered that.
Misamo-chan said, Duxty.
Like, hey, Jenny side, what was your plot? My plot was there was this one other fairy character, and I wanted to make a character who did everything she did but better. So I used all these exploits to make the most broken character possible, and convinced the GM to let me do, and browbeat the GM to let me do, like, several other things that I wouldn't have otherwise been allowed to do. And it's just like, okay, yeah, that is not something I want to be involved in. Oh, and we made this DM so mad this one time because, like, she was trying to put me in a situation where I would have to cross water. And, like, I used my super overpowered teleportation spell and an exploit of, like, calling someone my enemy who wasn't my enemy to cross the bridge without having to take her armor off or get in the water. And it's just like, y'all are kind of missing the point. But we're out of music, so I'm going to turn the music back on. Messages. Request references here. Excellent. All right, so let's see here. Super Johnny, I have received the information for your request. At this point, you can just go ahead and do a request slot or a super request slot, and we can get started on it. Where's my music? There we go.
Misamo-chan just redeemed sub slot for 1 points.
Excellent, Mushkin. We're just gonna pretend I haven't already been drawing your... We're just gonna pretend I haven't already been drawing your request this entire time. Because we love you. And you're a mooshkin. And you give me snuggles. Is this not black? Yeah, this is pure black.
Miss Emojin said, duh.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh, sweetie. More kitten drawings. Very important. Very important to draw kittens more often.
Duh.
Alright, let's see what color her eyes are. Okay, it's the same yellow, but there's a blue for the irises. Got it. It looks a little too gray for me, so I'm going to make some adjustments to it. Wow, it's down at 2541. No way. Absolutely not. And it's a little too green. Let's drop this down to 50. No, 60. 60 is good. That's better. Let me grab this yellow I was using earlier, and I can just do that. Oh, of course, that happened. It's bleeding. Dang it. It's bleeding really bad.
The Snooter said, hey hey. In addition to extra boops and ad-free viewing, I am also offering off-stream draw time to all my Twitch subscribers.
Kinda sounds like it ran an ad.
In fact, as a subscriber, your weekly off-stream draw time will be guaranteed even if you miss a stream. Tier 1, 15 minutes total. Tier 2, 30 minutes total. Tier 3, 100 minutes total.
And we have a ding. All right. Let's get back to work
Super
on the
Johnny
little kitty
91
drawing.
said, at Das Neuter, if you get the chance to see my request on the request reference.
Yes, I did. At this point, we are just waiting on you to do a request slot. Yep, just need to do a request slot and we can get started right after Misamo-chan. And I have to try to find this dang color again. It's probably this color. Pretty sure it's this color.
Super Johnny 91 just redeemed basic slot for 4,000 points.
Okay, let me put you on the list and we'll do you next.
Super Johnny 91 currently has 15 minutes.
Okay, we're finally making the second pattern layer. Alright, looks like we're gonna have another ad and then get started on Super Johnny 91.
The Snooter said, hey. Did you know you can get more off-stream draw time for the same price by subscribing on DeviantArt? Basic Boopers, $5 gets you 25 minutes of draw time per week. Double Doodles, $10 gets you 60 minutes of draw time per week. Super Snooters, $25 gets you 175 minutes of draw time per week.
Super Johnny, I'm just noticing that there's 2 characters in this request. That is... not allowed unless you're a subscriber. So if you want to let us know which one of these characters you would like, we can do that. Yeah, we only have 1 character allowed in it right now for non-subscribers.
Super Johnny 91 said, it has to be 1 character.
Yeah, it's gotta be 1 character. So, like, we can do, the other character later, it's just, it has to be 1 character at a time.
I choose Ashi from Samurai Jack first.
Okay, that sounds good.
Remember Ashi's puffy princess dress ball gown will be light magenta purplish pink?
Uh-huh. I believe that's what's in the directions up here. Okay. I'm grabbing the ref images right now. I'm gonna see what other playlists we have for Vivek Abhishek. This sounds nice.
Super Johnny 91 said, her puffy princess dress ball gown will be electric lavender.
That sounds good.
That's the color.
Okay, so just to clarify, is that this color you want the gown to be? From this reference up here?
Yes.
Okay, that sounds good.
See that picture that you referenced? That's the color of her dress.
Uh-huh. That sounds good.
Zon Stony Gazer said, I now have the points, but it's out of stock.
Dang. Well, presuming no other disasters occur, I should be here next week.
Super Johnny 91 said, how come I cannot add another minute?
We removed those bonus minute redeems a while ago. That's not how it works anymore. The bonus minutes we're making...
21 said, is this the last slot you're working on?
Technically I believe that there are basic request slots still available, but yeah, pretty much. Also, subscribers can use their sub-slot bonuses. So if anyone would like to subscribe, those are still available.
Snooter said, hey hey. Did you know that you can get way more draw time by subscribing on KO-Fi? Basic Boopers, $5 gets you 30 minutes of draw time per week. Double Doodles, $10 gets you 70 minutes of draw time per week. Super Snooters, $25 gets you 200 minutes of draw time per week.
Alright, we are out of time. Let's find someone to raid to.
Super Johnny 91 said, make the back of the princess dress ball gown bigger like a camel's hump.
Okay, that sounds fine.
Feral Ligator 2425 said, this music actually sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, this song is actually going really hard. I like it. And it's more Vivek Abhishek, so it's copyright free. I should definitely try this playlist more often.
See you guys on next Friday.
That sounds good. I hope to see you next Friday, Astrid. Take care.
Hujabo Serval 6921 said, going off already. Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Also gotta love that Mongolian throat singing.
I agree. It's good stuff. Alright. Let's try to find someone to raid to.
Super Johnny 91 said, see ya. See on next week Friday.
Heck yeah. Okay, we're gonna go with Lil Guy again. Alright everyone. You know him, you love him. Let's all be polite and say hi to Lil Guy. Thank you all for coming today, and thank you for your patience. I know I got off to a late start and was a little tired.
Siri_bot said, have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to stay hydrated and take care of yourself.